Good afternoon and welcome back. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 30, and it says, with my little pointer to help me stay on track. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 31. I'm sorry. Then Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel. And he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I can no longer go out and come in. Also the Lord has said to me, you shall not cross over this Jordan. The Lord your God himself crosses over before you, and he will destroy these nations from before you, and you shall dispose them. Joshua himself crossed over before you, just as the Lord has said. And the Lord will do to them as he did to Sihon and Og, the king of Amorites, in their land, when he destroyed them. The Lord will give them over to you, that you may do to them according to every commandment which I have commanded you. Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear, nor be afraid for them. For the Lord your God, he is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you, nor forsake you. Then Moses called Joshua and said to him in the sight of all of Israel, be strong and good courage, for you must go with these people to the land which the Lord God has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, he is the one who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Do not fear, nor be dismayed. So Moses wrote this law and delivered it to the priest, the son of Levi, who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and to all the elders of Israel. And Moses commanded them, saying, at the end of the 7 years, at the appointed time in the year of release, at the Feast of the Tabernacles, when all Israel comes to appear before the Lord your God in the place which he chooses, you shall read these laws before all of Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women, the little ones and the strangers who is within your gates, that they may hear and that they may learn to fear the Lord your God, and carefully observe all the words of this law, and that their children who have not known it may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as you live in the land which you crossed the Jordan to possess. Then the Lord said to Moses, behold, the days approach when you must die. Call Joshua and present yourself in the tabernacle of meeting, that I may inquire and inaugurate him. So Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of meeting. Hold on, my arm hurts. Hang on. Then the Lord said to Moses, behold, you will rest with your fathers, and his people will rise and play the harlot with the god of the foreigners of the land, where they go to be among them, and they will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my anger shall be aroused against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evil and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, have not these evils come upon us, because our God is not amongst us? And I will surely hide my face in that day, because of all the evil which they have done, in that they have turned to other gods. Now therefore write down this song for yourselves, and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it on their mouths, that this song may be a witness of me against my children of Israel, when I have brought them to the land flowing with milk and honey, of which I swore to their fathers, and they have eaten and filled themselves and grown fat. Then they will turn to the other gods and serve them, and they will provoke me and break my covenant. Then it shall be when many evils and troubles have come upon them, that the song will testify against them as a witness, for it will not be forgotten in the mouth of their descendants. For I know the the inclinations of their behavior today, even before I have brought them to the land which I swore to give them." Therefore Moses wrote the song the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. Then he inaugurated Joshua the son of Nun and said, "Be strong and of good courage, for ye shall bring the children of Israel into the land of which I swore to them, and I will be with you." So it was, when Moses had completed writing the words of the law in the book, when they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites, who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, "Take this book of the law and put it beside the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there as a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. If today, while I am yet alive with you, you have been rebellious against the Lord, then much more after my death. Gather to me all the elders of your tribe and your officers, that I may speak these words in their hearing and call heaven and earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you will become utterly corrupt and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And the evil will befall you in the later days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger throughout the works of your hands." And then this is the Song of Moses, verse 30, and then chapter 20, or verse 30, and then chapter 23. Then Moses spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the word of the song until they were ended. "Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Let my teaching drop as the rain, my speech distilled as the dew, as raindrops on the tender herb, as showers on the grass. For I proclaim the name of the Lord, ascribed greatness to our God. He is the rock. He works in his works is perfect. For all his ways are justice. A God of truth and without injustice, righteous and upright is he. They have corrupted themselves, they are not his children, because of their blemish, a perverse and corrupt generation. Do you thus deal with the Lord, O foolish and unwise people? Is he not your father who brought you? Has he not made you and established you? Remember the day of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he will show you. Your elders, and they will tell you. When the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the boundaries of the people according to the number of children of Israel. For the Lord portion is his people. Jacob is the place of his inheritance. He found in him a desert land, and in the wasteland a howling wilderness. He encircled him. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirs up its nest, hovers over its young, spreads out its wings, taking them up, carrying them on its wings. So the Lord alone led him, and there was no foreign god with him. He made him ride in the height of the earth, that he might eat the produce of the field. He made him draw honey from the rock, and oil from the flint rock, curds from the cattle, and milk from the flock, with fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats, with the choicest wheat. And you drank wine, the blood of grapes. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat. You grew thick. You are obese. Then he forsook God who made him, and scornfully esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with the foreign gods. With abomination they provoked him to the anger. They sacrificed to demons, not to God. To God they did not know. To new gods, new arrivals, that your fathers did not fear. Of the rock who begot you, you are unmindful, and have forgotten the God who fathered you. And when the Lord saw it, he spurned them. Because of the because of the provocation of his sons and his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be. For they are a preserved generation, children in whom is no faith. They have provoked me to jealousy by what is not God. They have moved me to anger by their foolish idols. But I will provoke them to jealousy by those who are not a nation. I will move them to anger by a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger and shall burn to the lowest hell. It shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountain. I will heap disasters on them. I will spend my arrows on them. They shall be wasted with hunger, devoured by pestilence and bitter destruction. I will also send against them the teeth of beasts, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword shall destroy outside. There shall be terror within for the young men and virgin, the nursing child with the man of gray hair. I would have said, I will dash them in pieces. I would have said, I will dash them in pieces. I will make the memory of them cease from among them. Had I not feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should misunderstood, lest they should say, our hand is high, and is not the Lord who has done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, nor is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider the latter days. How could one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to fight, unless their rock has sold them, and the Lord had surrendered them? For their rock is not like our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is a vine of Sodom, and of the grape of Gomorrah, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of Gaul. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of serpents, and the cruel venom of cobras. This is verse 34. Is it not laid up in store with me, sealed up among my treasures? Vengeance is mine, and recompense. Their foot shall slip in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things to come hasten upon them. For the Lord will judge his people, and have compassion on his servants. When he sees that their power is gone, and there is no one remaining, bond or free, he will say, where are their gods? The rock in which they sought refuge, who ate the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offering. Let him rise and help you, and be your refuge. Now see that I, even I, am he, and there is no God beside me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal, nor is there any who can deliver from my hand. For I raise my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever, as I whet my glittering sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the heat of their leaders of the enemies. Rejoice, O Gentiles, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servant and render vengeance to his adversaries. He will provide atonement for his land and his people. So Moses came with Joshua the son of Nun, and spoke all these words of the song in the hearing of the people, Moses finished speaking all these words to Israel, and he said to them, "Set your heart on all the word which I testify among you today, which you shall command your children to be careful to observe all the words of the law, for it is not a futile thing for you, because it is your life. And by his word you shall prolong your days in the land which I cross over the Jordan to possess." Then the Lord spoke to Moses that very same day, saying, "Go up this mountain of the Abram, Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, across from Jericho. View the land of Canaan, which I gave to the children of Israel as a possession, and die on the mountain which you ascend, and be gathered to your people, just as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor, and was gathered to his people, because you trespassed against me amongst the children of Israel, as the waters of Merab, Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because you did not hallow me in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet you shall see the land before you, though you shall not go there into the land which I am giving to the children." That is Deuteronomy 31 and 32.